Today's topic is how not to choke in the big moment, and this is Tips with Trev, the show where I give developing baseball players some easy tips to end their slumps faster and become a superstar sooner. Let's do it. All right, before we jump into today's topic, I am still running my giveaway. If this channel is at 50,000 subscribers by June 5th, I'm giving away 2 pairs of Trevor Bauer signed cleats to 2 random subscribers on this channel. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and let your friends know that this channel exists and that they should subscribe. I can't talk today, and they can be entered to win as well. All right, let's jump right in. Today's topic is how to not choke in the big moment. So in order to talk about this, we need a framework to define what choking is and what success is. So I've talked about this a little bit before, but there's 2 types. There's 4 types. I'll put a little diagram up here in the corner so you guys can follow along. There's 4 types of focuses, all right? You have a narrow focus or a broad focus, and you have an internal focus or an external focus. And so you can have a narrow internal focus, a narrow external focus, a broad internal focus, or a broad external focus. And depending on which one of those you're in will determine on whether you're going to choke in the big moment or succeed in the big moment. So first, let's talk about a couple of the ones that are okay to be in, but not great to be in. First one I'm going to talk about is the broad internal mindset. Now, this is okay for practice situations. Basically, you're trying to feel something, but you're focused on what's going on internally. So it might be, as a hitter, I want to feel like I'm moving my elbow. Elbow's not probably a good one. Let's see, for broad, it would be, I want to feel like I'm really rotating hard. That's my cue today, is rotate fast, or rotate powerfully. I might try to be hitting the ball as hard as possible. That might be my cue. That's an internal cue. You're focusing on how your body's moving, but it's not really a specific cue. Okay, so this can be done in pitching as well when you're talking about, hey, get to your balance point. A terrible cue, in my opinion, but it's used a lot. So that's kind of a broad internal cue. You're trying to feel a balance point. You're not worried about exactly where your leg is or exactly where your hand is in space. You're just trying to get balanced. All right, so that's broad internal. It's okay for practice, not the best, but it's not terrible for practice. It can be useful sometimes. Let's go to the next one, a broad external focus. So this is like, okay, I'm not thinking about anything that's going on here. My focus is over there on the glove, but it's not on the glove. It's just kind of over there in that direction. All right, I'm going to throw a ball that way. So this would be, like, I guess just getting your toss in. Like if you're throwing by yourself into a fence and you don't have a specific target that you're looking at, you just want to hit the fence. It's kind of a big fence. It's broad, and you're just kind of throwing it over there to get your work in. You haven't picked a specific target. You're not looking specifically at a spot. If you're hitting, it's just kind of like, I'm going to hit the ball over that way. I'm going to pull it. And so you're focused on where you're going to hit the ball over there, and you just kind of hit it, and that's it. So again, not terrible, not great, not terrible though for practice settings. Maybe you're working on trying to pull the ball in the box. Maybe you're working on, just the footwork of, charging a ground ball and throwing it. So you're not really worried about where you're throwing it over there. You're just kind of throwing it over there. So it's a broad kind of external focus. So those 2 are okay for practice. Not optimal to be doing those in the game. But if you're doing those in the game, it's not as bad as it could be, and it's not as good as it could be. So those ones are just kind of neutral, I would say. You're not really getting any better, but you're not making yourself any worse. All right, let's jump into the best mindset to be in. This would be a narrow external mindset. All right, this is called flow state. When you're not thinking about anything going on in your body, you have no conscious thoughts whatsoever. You're in the zone, is what they call it. Flow state or the zone, same type of thing. So you're looking at the glove, and you're not thinking about how your leg's moving or how your arm's feeling. You're not thinking about what pitch you should throw. It's nothing like that. You're just like, there's the glove, and I'm going to hit it. I'm going to throw a fastball and I'm going to hit it. And then I'm going to throw a curveball. And things kind of occur to you like you know what pitch you're going to throw because you see something. You're that locked in. You're that focused on one thing, that one specific thing, that everything just kind of happens and it works out in your favor. This is there's a great story. I forget what book it's in. I'll have to look this up. There's a great story about a ping pong player, and he's focused on reading the spin of the ball, and he gets into a big game and he gets smoked in the Olympics. Actually, he gets smoked. He gets beat like 21-2, and he's a much better player than that. He's one of the best players in the world, actually, but he gets smoked, and he was thinking about trying to read the spin on the ball, and so he was thinking internally and how his hand was going to go. He's like trying to. He was thinking a lot internal about how his body was moving, and he wasn't in the zone, and so he crumbled. He choked, and so that leads us right into how you choke in a big moment, and that's when you get narrow and internally focused. How is my hand moving? I need to make sure that my hand is exactly in this place when I throw the ball, and I want to feel this off my fingers. Or I want to feel like my arm really jams back, or I want to feel like my hips really rotate. And if you don't feel it, you're constantly trying to feel it, and you're thinking so much internally about one specific thing, not a general feel, but like where is my knee positioned? How's my elbow moving here? Is my front arm barring when I swing, or am I going to try to take my elbow forward? Am I pulling my hands in? I want to make sure and feel the ball like off my fingertips, but I got to feel it off this fingertip, or anything like that. Anything where you're thinking about a body part being in a specific space in time or a specific movement while you're in competition, you're going to choke. You're going to fail. You're going to, the game is not coming to you naturally. You're thinking about all of the wrong things. And this happens at the highest level. This is kind of where the yips come in. Actually, the yips is kind of a severe form of a narrow internal mindset. You're really worried about not being able to execute a certain thing that you've executed your whole life. And so you think about it, and you think about the one thing that you're just like, oh, if I can just do this one thing, then I'll be fine. And then you're so narrowly internally focused that you can't actually perform the skill, and it's paralyzing. So that's the extreme case. The other case on the positive side is, again, the narrow external, where you're in the zone. You talk to someone, you're like, what were you thinking out there? And I don't even know. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just trying to hit the glove, or, I went up there and just, I don't know what happened. I hit it, and next thing I knew, I was rounding the bases. These people are in flow state. They're in the zone. So to recap it, you have narrow internal, narrow external, broad internal, broad external. The best possible competition mindset to be in is a narrow external mindset. The worst possible competition mindset to be in is a narrow internal mindset. And then for practice, you can fool around with the broad internal or the broad external. It's not going to make you super good. It's not going to make you super bad. It's just kind of like, if you can avoid being in those and be in the narrow external at all points in time, that'd be great. Takes a lot of focus, takes a lot of energy, so you're going to slip back into the broads, the broad internal and the broad external focuses at some points, but just make sure it's in practice and it's not in the game. And avoid the narrow internal mindset at all costs, because the more you practice it, the more you let yourself slip into the narrow internal focus, the more likely it is to transfer to the game, and that's not what you want. So that's today's topic, how not to choke in the big moment, talking about internal, external mindsets and narrow and broad mindsets. As a reminder to those who haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, enter yourself in a chance to win a pair of signed cleats from me. If this channel is at 50,000 subscribers by June 5th and you subscribe, you will be automatically entered to win that. Other than that, leave me a like, it helps me out a lot. Leave me a comment, any topics that you'd like covered. If you thought this was valuable, not valuable, if you have any follow-up questions on this, please let me know. Any other topics you'd like me to cover, let me know. And hopefully we have baseball back soon. Hope you're safe, hope you're well, hope you're happy. See you in the next one.